I hear the housing as being a talking point in the community often, whether that's individuals that are saying there's not accessible housing in the broader community, or parents thinking about long-term living for their son or daughter. How do you think, parents or individuals that are fighting that fight maybe in Birmingham or surrounding areas should go about navigating that?
Um, I think you have to partner with nonprofits that are geared towards serving those with disabilities, and those partnerships will allow the collaboration and opportunities to be able to address those particular needs.
Yeah.
Now, for the blind and deaf, AIDB's regional centers across the state did a survey, and if this tiny home village was available, would you move to Talladega and be a part of this independent community? And 94% said yes.
Yeah.
And many of them were with aging parents, so there needed to be a long-term solution.
Yeah.
But affordable housing, transportation, and employment opportunities, these are all three things that are all interwoven, and they're critical to address for individuals with disabilities.
Yeah. And hearing you go through that, the first thing I think of is don't try and do everything on your own. Partner with others that have the same mission and vision. It's the one horse can pull 1,000 pounds, two
Exactly.
can pull 5 or whatever that is. So start adding to your team there of like-minded individuals and really try and conquer that for your local area. And then I almost wish there was like a law where any new development in big housing had to have a percentage of those, whether those are apartments or whether those are single family homes,
Right.
a percentage that had to be accessible. Like if a new neighborhood was going up or something.
I totally agree. I think you have to, that's where the government has to step in, and we have to advocate where, that's part of the mix. And we have that, those spaces that provide the accommodations and accessibility.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's all interwoven. You've got to have housing and transportation to have a job.
The Maslow's hierarchy, you have to get,
and then the job is what, so then you're able to then afford where you're staying.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but ultimately, and I've learned this from my friends across the street and also our residents, but, community is so important, and that's been tough during the pandemic.
I've felt it during the pandemic.
Exactly, for all of us.
Yeah.
But for those that particularly are blind and deaf, community is really everything. And
Yeah.
so, we stepped out into this where we thought together we could do something that neither one of us could do by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But how does that tie back into the Presbyterian Home for Children? Because again, we're like, that's what we do. And so it ties back is that we can provide these affordable rents at a really nice place. Either one of us, could live in these tiny homes.
They're
very
homes.
nice.
Yeah.
They're very
I've seen pictures of them, and I hope to see a few today if that's possible.
Absolutely. And so we are able to provide kind of a one price
Mm-hmm.
that includes electricity and, cable.
What is that price?
Well, it depends upon what is. The tiny homes are $650 a month. Okay. Now the inside the larger cottages, that could be $350, $400, $450, $500. That's going to depend upon if they have their own bathroom, mm-hmm. kind of a suite versus just one bedroom, and then they
a shared bathroom.
A shared bathroom.
Yeah. So even for the ones that it's your place and you're not sharing it there, you said it's $650, $670, and that includes everything.
So that for the tiny homes,
For the tiny
that's going
homes,
to be the
yes.
highest.
Yeah.
But it's very, very affordable. But those rents come back to help us offset the cost here to take care of children.
Yeah.
So it's a diversified funding source for us.
Well, no matter the structure of the business, there has to be cash flow there so that you can continue to do what your mission is,
Right.
and you serve the individuals that you serve.
Exactly. So I think our donors have recognized that we've, our mission is children, and we haven't veered off of that. But I think they appreciate that we have looked at additional funding sources to help us take care of children. And at the same time, again, we're faith-based ministry to a very vulnerable population that was right here around us.
Yeah.
So, it's really like a trifecta.
Yeah, it makes sense at that point. It's like
blind, deaf, homeless moms and kids, and we're able to do it all together.